I'm Jane MacDonald from BB Bold. In this video, I would like to give you a few ideas of what you can achieve with this Shippo designed pre-stencil fabric from Olympus. These are the three colourways available in the Shippo design. And for this table runner, we will use the off-white colourway. To begin, we need a 30cm strip, and it's important to mention here that all the markings on the fabric wash off. We will be looking at different examples of table runners made out of 30cm wide strips of pre-stencil fabrics. So you can come up with many patterns and designs. This is the first one I made 8 years ago. I find that this design is still popular for its simplicity and gentle colour scheme that complements most home interiors. For this design I've used alternating coloured threads. And in the opposite direction I used the brown thread. I've left off the straight lines as I prefer the circles. I stitched up until this point, and then where I've got the circles I've just traced around the bottom of glasses and then Sashiko stitched them. In this tablecloth example I have kept some of the cross hatching in as a background. I used plain and variegated Sashiko threads in pink for the stitching. As you can see, I have left off alternating lines. I stitched this one, I left this one out, I stitched this one, I left that one out, etc. And I did the same in the opposite direction. I also left off these little stitches here. This is a leftover piece which I fused some lightweight iron-on interfacing onto the wrong side. And from this piece I actually had a few other pieces left over, so I made some table mats to go with my tablecloth, and there was enough to make 6. This is another example of a Sashiko table runner using the Shippo design, which was taken from our BB Bold Sashiko panel number 1. This is the navy black table runner that I made. This is the off-white version of this Sashiko table runner design, using 2 different colour threads, blue threads. Number 10 and number 9 Sashiko thread from Olympus were used in an alternating diagonal pattern just like this, all the way across this way and all the way across that way. When you're working on your piece, and there are many design options, try turning your work over to see how it will look when washed. These are my preferred Sashiko needles from Tulip in Japan. They are superb quality. There are 6 needles in a pack with 3 sizes, 2 long, 2 medium and 2 short. You can see that they look a little bit tarnished and grey, but in fact it is a protective coating which wears off when you start stitching. And then it glides through the fabric beautifully. Because I use a Sashiko thimble, I choose to use the longer needle. Put those away. Now I'm going to snake across and back using the light coloured thread. Take the thread out of the top, fold the thread over the eye of the needle and give a tug, and then thread the needle, and there you go, and then it's just a simple knot at the other end. Tie a small tight knot, giving yourself a 1/4 inch at the end, approx. Cover up the marks on the fabric and feed the fabric onto the needle. The needle sits in one of the divots on the Sashiko thimble. Go back in the opposite direction, but leave a loop at the turn. One thread will take you across and back. When you pull your thread through, make sure you ease out your stitches so that they look relaxed. And now I'm going to stitch in the opposite direction using the darker thread. Remember to keep the knot shy of your fabric when you start and finish. And now it's complete. And now we need to wash it. Soak the fabric in warm soapy water and leave for at least 10 minutes so that the markings do all come out. Once you've rinsed the fabric out, wrap it in a towel and wring it out, and then place it onto an ironing board with the stitching face down but lying on a towel, and then iron it from side to side. For this blue version of the Shippo Table Runner, I added some applique petals to make some flowers, and this is the finished version. The instructions are available from BB Bold. And for this version, I have used 4 different Coggin embroidery threads. Purple, teal, terracotta, and a light brown. Coggin thread is a 6-stranded thread that is 18 meters long, and it's used for Coggin embroidery, which is a form of Sashiko. Here is an assortment of the Coggin threads that we have in stock. And there are many beautiful colours. I trimmed back the Sashiko piece using my rotary cutter and ruler, and then I put a 4-inch wide border around the edge. I used thin iron-on pellon to back the Sashiko Table Runner, which is cut 1/2 inch smaller than the top. As you can see, there's a 1/4 inch all the way around the work. And then take your work to the ironing board and put a cloth on top of the wadding and press with the iron, taking your time to work across. It takes a lot of time to do this, and if you don't take the time to do it, your work will have bubbles in it. Pin the table runner top and backing right sides together, and you're going to pin all the way around, leaving an opening at one end. And now stitch I use a walking foot and a 1/4 inch seam, and just stitch all the way around, remembering to leave an opening at the bottom so to turn your work through. And then clip the corners, and then turn your table runner through. And then all you need to do to finish off is to slip stitch the opening shut. And then once it's turned through, give it a nice press so it's nice and flat, and then quilt in the ditch all the way around. And once it's complete, it's ready to put on your table. For more detailed tips about getting started with Sashiko, look to BB Ball's video Pre-stencilled Sashiko Fabric. I'm Jane, and thanks for watching Sashiko Table Runner with Shippo Design.